Today I am going to share some of my Covergirl products that I have in my collection. I've got a couple of different eyeshadow palettes. This one was a really beautiful navy color. The only thing is this one does not come out looking like this. So it comes out very, very light, very underwhelming. And it really doesn't build up for me. So this one I definitely was not too terribly impressed with. I do have this Fantasy Changeable palette that I bought on Amazon, and this navy, I was wondering if it would do the same thing, and you could definitely see the difference. You know, it's strong from the get-go, and it does build up pretty well. So I've been really enjoying this palette. Another thing that I got was this eyeshadow palette. And the reason I got this was because if you've seen some of my other videos about going gray, am wanting to start dipping my toe in more cool tones and playing those up a little bit. I've always seemed to gravitate towards warm tones, and I still do, but I'm thinking, you know, now would be a good time to experiment a little bit and just come up with different looks. So this is the palette that I am going to use today, and as you can see, it's got, you know, some good grays. These are a little bit more bluish gray, and this one almost seems to have like a little bit of purple in it. So that is the direction that I am going to be going today. So there's a shimmery light color, and then there's a matte. I'm going to use the matte one to just go over my eyelids. I've already primed my eyelids with my Milani. Just to get everything kind of set and ready to go. So the first color I am going to go in with is this gray, and that's going to be what I'm using for my transition shade. And like I say, I generally like using a little bit warmer of a color. Even if I'm using cool colors, I mix it with warm and cool. But I am going to try this out and see how it turns out, and just start getting that into the crease. I've got a couple of issues going on today. I burnt myself with my curling iron, and then I've got this friend joining us today. And if you've seen my videos on my goals for the year, one of the really bad habits that I have is going in and, you know, picking at my blemishes. So I'm very much trying to not do that. Be patient. Just try to let it resolve on its own. Okay, so I'm going to continue on with this, but I may add some warmth to this as well. But let me just kind of continue on. All right, so now what I am going to do is work on the lid, and I'm going to start with the very lightest color that's shimmery on the inner, and then just kind of build up with this one, and then this one, and then this one. Okay, it's very soft, so I'm going to move that up to about 1/3 of the way. And now I'm going in with this one. which is like a real icy, steely blue color. It makes me cold just looking at it. And then I am going to go in with this darker color right here. Boop, that one. Just very gently tapping it right there. Okay, I'm going to go in again with that color and just try to place it into that crease a little bit, just a little. I don't want it going up too far. And now I am going to go in with my flat brush and go in with the black. It really doesn't have much of a payout. I'm putting that on there, and it's black, but it's kind of really like almost a dusty, soft black, I guess. Okay. Now what I am going to do is I am going to use these Covergirl liquid liners. And this one is in a bluish, I don't see the name on it, but it's 340. And so it's this blue that I think would look nice with these colors. And what I like to do with these is actually then line very close to my lash line on the inside part, and then just kind of meet up with the other. And since this eyeshadow doesn't really have much payoff as far as using it as an eyeliner, I'm going to go ahead and just, line my whole eye. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the other side, put on my lashes, and I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. So I am glad that I got this palette. It's a great one for me to kind of test out colors, different colors that I'm not used to using. And they're pretty. I did like it. I'm not impressed with the quality. I kind of see it being a little bit patchy. It was hard to build up. So when I find another palette, because most of my palettes they aren't cool toned like this. So if I find a palette or, another product that I think has higher quality, then I'm definitely going to be decluttering this. I've been on a decluttering mission lately, and I want to hold on to this until I can replace it with something else. One palette that I've heard great things about is the Stone Cold Fox. I think it's by ColourPop, and that has a lot of beautiful colors, and it's a bigger sized palette. One thing that I have learned about myself is I tend to grab for palettes like this. Yes, here and there I might grab a quad or something like that, but I really do like these because sometimes you just want, you know, like with this one, I know I'll go into this and this one for my transition shade. I could build up, and I have so many options here. With this one as well, I'm definitely going to be decluttering this one because I did find a replacement for this. You know, this navy in this palette is a lot better. One thing I also notice, and I've done that, is I don't reach, like I say, I reach more for the bigger palettes, not these just single shadows. And so I've got this one, and I think I've got a couple other ones from L'Oreal, and the L'Oreal ones, they're nice, they're beautiful, they're great quality, but I don't reach for it because once you've got your full palette with all the colors that you need, I don't generally go for just that one color. So that's the deal with the eyeshadows. I am going to warm this one up. And what I'm going to do is go in here with a more neutral tone. Here's this really taupey tone, so it's not super warm, but what I'd like to do with that one, I think that's all I need. Actually, I might go in, dang it. Sorry about that. I actually might go in with this and maybe that one, a little bit darker. We'll see how it goes, but I'm starting off with the lighter one. And what I am noticing is this, it's choppy looking. It didn't blend out smooth. And I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if it's the color. Some colors are a little bit more difficult to blend out or whatever. But like I said, generally all of those colors in that palette, I had to kind of, you know, work with. They didn't have a good color payout, and they weren't that easy to blend out. You can really see it on that eye. I mean, it just looks really, I don't know. So I'm taking that and I'm just kind of going, and by doing this, not only am I slightly warming up the color where it actually meets my skin, and I'm still keeping all those cool colors, but I'm just blending it more into my my skin a little bit better, like that. All right. And just using that light colors, doing the trick. I wished I had a better way of doing this because I want you to see, but I know my hand gets in the way. I've got quite the little setup here. I'm on this little wobbly table with my with my mirror, my lights, and all my makeup, so. And here you just want to really, really blend out. Okay. Then I'm taking the original, just blending brush and getting that top a little bit more smoothed out. I think it's a pretty look. I do want to play more with the silvers and the grays and the taupes. I did another gray eye that I really like the way it turned out. I just might be one who will frame it with more of a neutral tone. I'm not seeing any fallout from that, from the Covergirl one, so that's good. All right, so let's move on. I'm gonna just quickly do my under eyes. I didn't have a under eye concealer from Covergirl, so I'm just using my Incognito. Now, this one is the CoverGirl Smoothers, and I have used this off and on for years, and I really, really like this one. It's super light, and it seems to like dry and not feel tacky, which is really nice because I just tend to really like a more light feel foundation, rather than feeling like you're wearing a mask. And this one really does seem to do a really good job. So it's a little bit lighter, but by the time I put on my, my contour, my blush, all that, it seems to work. I think that, of course, if you get the right shade, that's the best. But if you don't, try it, put on the rest of your makeup and see if it ends up working for you. The only thing that you kind of have to do that I normally don't do is carry it down my neck. And this is basically just to try to make sure, since the color isn't exactly perfect for me, you want to make sure that everything looks good together. Okay. And this one was really strange. One thing that I have been doing is opening up my Amazon as well as my Walmart, especially with makeup, and looking for whatever product. And whichever is the cheapest, I'll go with that. So to me, Walmart's becoming very, very competitive with Amazon. This one was odd because the colors were all different prices. So one, I think this was under $4. And I was like, great. But there were others that were like $16 or whatever. So it's good to kind of see what's going on in both places. And I have no idea why different colors would be a different price. So that's one thing that I did run into. Yeah, and it feels moisturizing. I mean, it feels slightly tacky, but not bad. Not bad at all. So then I'm going to go ahead and just set everything. There is no settling, which is nice. And I didn't use my concealer to brighten. Sometimes I brighten down my nose and everything just because this foundation was brightening enough. So I thought I could skip that step. Now I'm going to go in with my bronzer, my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. For blush, I have got this CoverGirl Cheekers, and this one I've really, really enjoyed. This one is, I think, True Plum, but it's $185. And I think it's a beautiful color. And these have been around forever. And it does feel a little nostalgic putting on some CoverGirl makeup, because what would have been ideal is if I had the, oh gosh, what was the name of it? But the foundations that smelled like Noxzema. And I used to have those. That's what I used to wear when I was a teenager, a young gal. And to finish this off, I'm going to use this color for my lips. And again, I cannot read what the name, I mean, and I have nobody here to help me, but it's 760 is the color. And it's this beautiful mauve-y, very metallic color. And I think this one will go really well with the eye look that's also on the metallic side. Okay. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe, and I hope you have a great day.